that you do it. So, good evening. Welcome to today's live stream. This is a crash course in electrical services design ESD. Tomorrow's paper, and we, as usual, we are going through some past questions that we hope, all we can do is to hope that will come. Yes. So once again, Kelvin Tamaklo Olanyo, and we are going through past questions. Yeah, and then reply. So this is the past questions that we using. Is in our class group. It's in the description, so you can get access to it from there. So it's electrical services design lecturer Emmanuel Ado, the same lecturer teaching us. So this is it's a very good past question to solve. So with the objectives, let's start from the section B. We might go through the objectives or not. I don't know. But one advice is that if we don't get to go through the objectives because of time, there's a high chance that we'll get similar questions just like the midterm. So all you can do is just try to memorize the answers. That'll help all of us. Yes. You have to just try to memorize all the answers. Okay. Thank you very much. So let's start from. So these are the questions. Some of the midterm questions. So we've solved them already. We've solved these questions. So solving them will just be a waste of time. All right. We've solved this. We've solved this. We've solved this. We've solved. We solved all this before the midterm. We solved all this before the midterm. Yes. Okay. Let's move on. Come in. You can check something. Okay. Let's move on, please. Alright. So let's start with the section B, where all the marks are, where most of the marks are. A floor a floor plan of a block of rooms. So please, we are using the floor plan we use for our assignment. So if you have it with you, kindly take it. Okay, because I'll be making references to it, the one I have here. So that if I see that the area of the master bedroom is, let's say, 3.66 by 5.18, you know what I'm talking about, so that we can work hand in hand. Okay, thank you very much. So a floor plan of a block of rooms of a hostel building has been provided at figure 1 that you have. The ceiling height. So they're given as the ceiling height to be 3.2 meters. Okay. The ceiling height is given as 3.2 meters. Yeah, so Rina, Kusi Rina, please, if you are watching, send me a hi in the chat. I want to see you, okay? I'll be throwing some questions out there. You help us with some clarification. So give me some shout out, and any other person watching, so just give us some shout outs in the chat section, so I know that you are all watching. Okay. So let's start. So we've been given the height as 3.2 meters. So height of room. Height of room is 3.2 meters. Assume the heights of the working planes in the master bedroom, living and dining rooms are 0.65. So the working planes. So they've given us the height of the entire room as this, okay, as 3.2 meters. They've given us the height of the working planes. So we can find some parameters. So it means that for the master bedroom, For the master bedroom, they've given us the floor cavity ratio. Okay, that's the height of the working plane. So for the master bedroom, our floor cavity ratio, that's the height of the working plane from the ground. Our floor HFC, our floor cavity height, sorry, not ratio, our floor cavity height is given by 0.65 meters. Then for our living and dining is our HFC is 0.85 meters. And then for our common hall, our floor cavity height is given by 0.80 meters. Okay. So now if I have my floor cavity ratio, I can find my room cavity because I know my floor. So I can find this length here. So I'll just subtract these values from 2. So for the master bedroom, my room cavity is given by 3.2 minus 0.65. I think that'll give us 2.55 meters. Then here too, I'll find my room cavity as 3.2 minus 0.85. And here to my room cavity as 3.2 minus 0.8. I think this is 2.4. This should be 2.35. Okay. So for each of the rooms, I have the following parameters just by reading the first line. Now they say that the average height, the average light output of a 40 feet 40 watt fluorescent tube is, so they're giving us the phi. So they're giving us phi per lamp to be 3,300 lumens. 3,000. So let's move on, please. So now I'm continuing the question. Continue the question. The rooms, the required utilization factors to be used for calculating the number of lamps in the master bedroom. So for master bedroom, living and dining in the common hall, we are supposed to use zonal cavity method. So these are right now, we are just taking down the parameters. Supposed to use zonal cavity method here for these 3 rooms. We've been given the maintenance factor to be 1.25. We've been given the maintenance factor to be 1.25. Let's move on. The main switch that's a light dB is at the main entrance. The ambient temperature of the rooms may be taken as 40, whatever. The distribution board voltage is 240 volts single phase. Sorry. The dimensions shown on the floor plan are those of the rooms. Okay, so we have the floor plan. I'm assuming you have a floor plan with you right now that you are looking at. Okay, so first we are supposed to use the zonal cavity method to find the number of rooms, the number of lamps in these rooms. So let's start. Okay, let's start. So I hope you've taken out all your parameters. So that's how you start. First, start by taking out your parameters. Then, now we are doing zonal cavity. So we are doing zonal cavity. First, we are doing zonal cavity for our master bedroom. So please, your work should be as neat as possible. Before you must underline, just try to underline to make it look nice. Okay, as orderly. Now for the master bedroom, we found each room cavity to be 2.55. Now let's know that they didn't mention the ceiling cavity, so we assume that all the lamps are fed directly to the ceiling. So our ceiling cavity is 0 meters. Okay. Then we also know our floor cavity to be 0.65 meters. Yes. So we can start. Now We want to find the number of lamps. Pay attention. We want to find the number of lamps given by EA times, because our MF is greater than 1, our MF comes up, UF times 5. So if you check, we have for all the rooms, we have our area, yes, we have our MF, we have our 5, we have the A, we have the E. The illumination for each of the rooms is given in a table. If you scroll down, table 7 has the illumination for each of the rooms. Sure. All right. So now all we have to find is our UF. So the zonal cavity method we are going through is the method we are going through to find our UF. Okay. So before we start, first thing you find is your row CC. Second thing you find, okay. So first thing you find, let me say start. First thing you must find your ceiling cavity ratio. So let's find our ceiling cavity ratio is given by 5 times ceiling cavity sum of length and width over product of length and width. So from the drawing, the area of the master bedroom, check, is 5.18 times 3.66. okay. So my ceiling cavity ratio will be given by 5 times HCC 0. So it will give me 0. Fantastic. So when you find your CCR, step 1, your step 2 is to find your row CC. So you go to your table, go to table and go to table number 3. Table number 3. Okay. Also, one thing, also let me write something down, some parameters down. In the preamble, they gave us the reflectances, right? Yes. They gave us that the ceiling reflectance is 80%, the wall reflectance is 50%, and the floor reflectance is 20%. So we also need these parameters. Now let me go back to the table. So now with a ceiling reflectance of, so first you do for ceiling and wall. We are doing for ceiling and wall. So with a ceiling reflectance of 80 and a CCR of 0, we have a row CC of 80. Please, I'll be what I'm doing. So I'm here, which I can write with a row C of 80 and a CCR of 0. I have a row CC of 80. I'm moving my cursor around it. Please focus, okay? Sure. So from the table, your row CC is given by 80%. Now, after finding your row CC, step 3, you find your FCR. So let's find our FCR. FCR is given by 5 times, so this is the floor cavity ratio. So floor cavity L plus W, L times W, and that will give us 5 times floor cavity 0.65 times L plus W, that is 5.18 plus 3.66 over the product 5.18 times 3.66. So let me do it on my calculator. 5 times 0.65 times open brackets 5.18 plus 3.66 over 5.18 times 3.66. So you're supposed to get 1.5, 1.52, 1.52, 1.515, 1.5. So this is my FCR. So what do we need FCR? We need FCR to find row FC. So I said first you do for ceiling and wall. Now you come and do for floor and wall. Floor and wall. So now You now have to find your row FC using that same table. Okay. So with a row floor, they give us the reflectance of the floor to be 20, right? 20. So we come to the table. Now in the table we have a row F here, row F 30 and 10. So we don't have row F 20. So we have to interpolate between it. Okay. So it means that with a row F of 20, row F of 30 and 10, my 20 will be in between. Are you following? So with a row F of this and my row wall, I'm using a row wall of 50. So 50, 50, 50. Now I have to find my 1.5 is between what? If I check my table, 1.5 is between 1.4 and 1.6. So I'll interpolate between 1.4 and 1.6 and I'll put my 1.5 to here. Okay. So I'll check at row F of 30 and row W of 50. So I'll come here. At the table is some way. It's split into two. Let me make it small. You can't see. Hope is clear enough. Sure. So with a row F, please follow. With row F of 30 and row W of 50 and all the way to 1.4, I'm having 26. So you see how we use it? I'm having 26 here. Right. I'm having 26 there. Fantastic. Now with row F, so same 30, 50, and at 1.6, I'm having 25. Please check from the table, okay? I'm having 25 here. If anyone has any correction so far, any questions so far, kindly make us aware so that we'll move on. All right. So now I'll come to now 10 with row F of 10 and row W of 50, and at 1.4 I have 12. At 1.6 I have 12. Please check. So I'm having 12 here. Let me draw a line here. Separate this one. So I'm having 12 here. I'm having 12 here. Here being 12 means that this place is definitely 12. So I can find this side 12. Okay, sure. Now I need to find this point here, A, and then that will help me to find this point, Y. So I'll use this portion of the interpolation. So for numerical analysis, we can do direct method of interpolation here. So let me clean a portion of it. I'm cleaning this side, okay? So I hope we are taking notes. So yes, I'll keep my steps here. This step 4, we are finding row FC. So I'll interpolate with this side. So I'll do 1.52 minus 1.4 over 1.6 minus 1.52. Same order, must be equal to A minus 26 over 25 minus A. So here you do your calculator work. You simplify this side and use your calculator to solve it. You will get your A to be equal to 25.4. So my A here is 25.4. So now I can interpolate to find my Y. Sorry. Now I can use this here and this to find my Y at 20. So I can do 20 minus 30 over 10 minus 20 must be equal to Y minus 25.4 over 12 minus Y. So if you do this correctly, you get your Y to be equal to 18.7%. So this thing we've calculated here is our row FC. Okay. So we went through these steps to find our row FC. So we are step 4 to find our row FC. Alright. So now our row FC is 18.7, but then if you check inside the tables, if you check inside the table, we don't have a table of row FC to be, we don't have a table of row FC equal to 20, equal to 18.7. So we look for a table that has row FC of, what is this thing? We look for a table that has row FC of and come, let me see something. All right, sure. Yes, let me zoom in now. So this, we don't have a table of row FC of 18, so we'll use a row FC of 20. That's what we have here. Our table has row FC 20, so we'll approximate this to be 20%, and you can see that because we have a table that has row FC of 20. That's all. All right, now we have our row FC. Amazing. Let's move on. Let's move on, please. Now the step 5, we can now go ahead and calculate our UF using our row CC, our row FC, our row W, our row W. Oh, okay, wait, I'm coming. This step 6. Okay, this step 6. Step 5, we must find RCR. So first check, find CCR, find row CC, find FCR, find row FC, find RCR. So we can find RCR. Let's find RCR. Let's find RCR. So RCR is given by 5 times HCR. That was 2.55 times 3.66 times 5.18 all over no, this plus is sum over product 5.18. So we'll get our RCR to be 5.944 meters. So now with our RCR, so these steps, you can write the steps down. You can write these steps down. Okay, myself, I think I'll take notes after. So I'm teaching myself too. So after that, I'll find UF using row CC. So we know row CC. Row CC was 80. We said row FC is given a table to be 20. Row W is 50. And with an RCR of 5.944. So come to the table. So this is the table we use table 5. Okay. So with row CC of 80, row W of 50, this has row FC to be 20. So we just read. So with row CC of 80, row W of 50, and we know that 5.94 is between 5 and 6. So we interpolate. So we have to interpolate between 5 and 6 to find our 5.94, right? And at 5, so let me come here. So at 80 and 50 and at 5, I have 0.49. At 6, I have 0.43. So I'll come here and put my 0.49 here, 0.43 here, and I'll find this x here. And you must be aware that, or you must take note that this x we are finding here is our UF. So this is a table to find UF. You can see here, it's a utilization factor table. So I will interpolate. I'll do 5.94 minus 5 over 6 minus 5.94 is equal to x minus 0.49 over 0.43 minus x. So I'll get my x, which is my UF, which is x, to be equal to 0.433. So I have UF to be 0.433. So now that I have my UF, I can go ahead and find my number of lamps. We said the number of lamps is given by EA MF over UF times 5. So I have everything, my E. So go to the table. Table 7, I think. table 7, yes, gives us the illumination table. So for bedroom, master bedroom is a bedroom, so it has illumination of 100. So I use an E of 100. My A is 3.66 times 5.18. My MF is 1.25. All over UF 0.433 times 5, 3,300. So my number of lamps is, you get 1.65. Then approximately I'll use 2 lamps. So you can say yes. You give a reason that yes, 2 lamps, 2 lamps because bedroom requires, you want to provide high illumination in the bedroom. That's why I'm using 2 lamps. That's your reason. That can be a reason. Okay, sure. So that's it. So for the bedroom, we have 2 lamps. So you can go to your this one and put for the master bedroom. So there are 3 master bedrooms. So you put 2 lamps, 2 lamps, 2 lamps in each of them. And that's, we have found the number of lamps. We found the number of lamps in the master bedroom. So let me write. So first, step 1, let's go through step 1. Find CCR. Step 2, find row CC. Step 3, find FCR. Step 4, find row FC. Step 5, find RCR. Step 6, find UF using row CC, row FC, row W, and RCR. Yeah. This thing should be very, very helpful. It should help your mind to be able to remember the steps in zonal cavity. Right now, if you start, you know what to do. So B, living and dining room. Living and dining room. So we'll check dimension, the area. The area for living and dining room is 5.5 by 7.32. 5.5 by 7.32. So the area is, let me write it this way, 7.32 by 5.5. They give us our floor cavity ratio for this to be 0.85, and we calculated our room cavity ratio to be 2.35 meters. So we can go ahead and find. And then we said the ceiling is hanging, so the light is stuck to the ceiling. So this is 0 meters. So let's find our CCR. We'll get 0, right? So we'll go to our table and say, okay, then our row CC will be 80%. You can read that. Step 1 and 2 are done. Now step 3, you're supposed to find your FCR. FCR is equal to 5 times. So you know the formula. So let me just substitute. Hey. So yeah, so let's move on. So 5 times HFC 0.85 times sum of the length, so 7.32 plus 5.55 all over product 7.32 times 5.55. So when you do this correctly, you get your FCR to be 1.351 meters. So these are FCR. So now with this FCR, we find our row FC using our table. Okay. So with FCR, so I said if you are finding FCR, you are doing floor and wall. So you use floor and wall. Okay, floor and wall parameters. So let me clean this. So let me clean this and say that. So I'll say that my, so I want to find row CR, row FC, right? Sure. So I was giving my row of floor to be 20. But if you check the table, as I said, there's no 20. There's row F of 30 and row F of 10. So as same thing, you interpolate between 30 and 10 with your 20. Then what's the question? Come.
That's how. I mean, that's one lamp before I go. I was supposed to be.
Can you call Papa for me? So I'm coming. I think I've mistakenly closed it. So let me open it again. So now I got 1.351. So 1.351 is between 1.2 and 1.4. So if I check your table, please over here, I'm going fast, okay? So if you check a table at row F of 30 and row W of 50, and at 1.2 you get 26. Kindly cross check. You get 25 here. Then if you check at 10, you get 12 and 12, which means here is 12. So as usual, I'll find my A and my X. So I'll use these parameters to find my A. So I'll do 1.35 minus 1.2 over, I'll close the P. 1.4 minus 1.35 must be equal to A minus 26 over 25 minus A. So you solve this equation and get your A to be equal to 25.245.
Yes.
Rina.
Yeah, call Rina. He said he didn't want to.
So yeah, so we're using, so now we found our A. We are back. Welcome back. Sorry. So now we found our A. Let me clean these steps here. Please don't forget these steps. Let them be. I wanted to be there, but I need space. So I'm cleaning it. We found our A. We have to find our X. So we use. So A is now 25.24. So I'll use this. I'll use here and here to find my X. So I'll do 10 minus 30 over. This is 20. Sorry. 20 minus 30 over 10 minus 20 must be equal to X minus 25.24 over 12 minus X. So when you do this correctly, you get your X to be equal to 18.62. As I said earlier, we don't have a table for 18.62, so we'll round this off. So we are using 20. So our row FC, we are using is 20%. You should just know that no matter what you get for your refs, you always round it to 20%. So that's the table we have. Okay. Or you round it to a table that will be given to us. So after row FC, we said we find what? We find RCR, right? RCR. That's the steps I wrote down. The row FC will find RCR. RCR is given by 5 times HCR. That's 2.35 times all those things. You get your RCR to be equal to 3.735 meters. So please put in the values. Put in your L plus W and your L times W here. So kindly do it and get the answer. And let's move on. Sure, let's move on. So after RCR, now we have to find our UF using row CC, row FC, row W, and our RCR. So we'll use table number 5. So with a row CC of 80 and row W of 50 and row FC of 20, we got, what do we get for our RCR? RCR is 3.75. 3.75 is between 3 and 4. So I interpolate between 3 and 4. So at 3, 4, and 3.75. At 3, let me go back and read. So at 80 and at 50 and at 3.63, at 4.56. So 0.63 here, 0.56 here. I'll put my y here. So I'll do 3.75 minus 3 over 4 minus 3.75 must be equal to y minus 0.63 over 0.56 minus y. So if you solve this, you get your y to be equal to 0.578. And don't forget, we are finding our UF. We are finding UF. So this UF we found, this is why we found our UF, which is equal to 0.578. When you did this correctly, so now we can now use this to evaluate our number of lambs. Okay. So our number of lambs, is given by E. So we check the table, the illumination table 7, I guess. Yes, illumination for living and dining room is 150. So 150 times the area. The area was what? 7.32 by 5.5 times MF 1.25 all over UF 0.578 times 3300. That will give us 3.95, approximately 4 lambs. Then you give your reason. You need high illumination in the living room because it may be used for reading and other primary life activities. Okay, sure. So now we have the number of lambs. Let's move on. Now we also have to evaluate the, how do you call it? So now C is common hall. So it's now cavity for common hall. I keep on writing the steps so for my own and also for all of us. So CCR row CC, FCR row FC, RCR UF. So first thing, if you find your, so we have all the parameters, right? So you read the area of the common hall. Area of the common hall is given by 7.32 by 3.36. 7.32 by 3.36. Then we're given our floor cavity for this to be 0.8. We find our room cavity to be 2.4. And we say our ceiling cavity is 0. Okay, so our CCR is 0. We do our 5 times HCC. HCC is 0, so it goes to 0. Which implies that from the table, our row CC will be equal to 80%. Now we need to find FCR, which is 5 times floor cavity. So 0.8 times sum of areas. Sum of areas over product of areas. Over product of areas. So that will give us an FCR of 5.21. An FCR of 5.21. Now, after finding FCR, we have to find rho FC, right? So you find rho FC using your wall and floor. Okay, so here let me adjust this. So here you find your rho FC using rho W and rho F. Okay, so yes, so you can add this to the side so you know what you're actually doing on that side. So using rho W, rho F, and FCR. Sure. Yes. So we know that we weren't given rho F of 20. So we'll do between 30 and 10, certain rho F of 20 in between. And then our 5 point
Which one do you want?
oh, it's C power. 5.45 C power. Okay. Please let me see. Anyone? Sure, please. The FCR I said was wrong. The FCR is supposed to be, when you evaluate, you're supposed to get 1.737. Okay, so 1.73. So in the table, in the first table, 1.73 is between 1.6 and 1.8. So our 1.73 is between 1.6 and 1.8. So let's see. So let me minimize this so we can read it. Yes. So at row F of 30, I'm circling with my cursor, and at row W of 50, and at 1.6 we have 28, 1.8, 28. So I'm having 28 here, I'm having 28 here. So I supposed to be 25.
It's 25 and 5.
Please, sir, I think I made a mistake. Yes, I made a mistake. It's supposed to be here. And so it's 25, 25. So it's supposed to be 25, 25. Thank you very much. Let me show you. Thank you very much, Stacy, my assistant for today. So here it's 25, 25. So there's no need solving for this. This place to be 25. Okay. This place to be 25. And then at 10, let's check for the at 10 too. At 10, at 1.6 is 7. No, at 10 and at 50. At 10 and at 50, I'm having 12, 12 here. I'm circling it 12, 12. So I'm having 12 here, 12 here, which means here is definitely 12. So here you have to do one interpolation. So I'll do 20 minus 30 over 10 minus 20 is equal to x minus 25 over 12 minus x. So you get your x to be equal to, I think so. So you get certain x, which you approximate to be. So here we are finding rho FC. Don't forget rho FC. We use 20%. Our table has just 20%, so we use 20%. Please, so solve and get this answer here. Yes, please. Perry is 1.74. Thank you very much. 1.74. Yes, Perry is 1.74. Thank you very much. Yes, so I like how we are all helping. So please, let's all comment. Let's all make contributions. Okay, so that we'll be done with it. Tomorrow is supposed to be a good day for all of us. Sure. So let me clean this. So now next thing we find after row FC, we find RCR. We find RCR. So if you find your RCR using the formula, you get your RCR to be equal to 5.21. So now you find your UF. Okay. So you find your UF at from the table. 5.21 is between 5 and 6. And if you check, please check from the table. You will get 0.49 here, 0.43 here. Let's check. So use the second table here. So at 80 and at 50 and at 5, we have 0.49. I'm circling it with my cursor. And at 80 and at 50 and at 6, we have 0.43. So you evaluate x, and then you get your x to be equal to 0.4774. So now this with x we found here is our utilization factor. Okay. So you can put UF here straight forward if you want. So the answer you get, just get your UF straight. Alright. So now we have our UF. So we can find a number of lamps as E. So we'll go to table 7. Table 7. Common hall has illumination 150. So 150 times the area. The area here, area of the common hall is 3.36 by 7.32, then times MF 1.25 all over UF 0.477 times 3300. A number of lamps will therefore give us 2.9, which I will approximate as 3 because I want high illumination. All right, let's move on. So right now we have a number of lamps. So that's it for the zonal cavity method. Okay, so for our master bedroom, we had 2 lamps. We had 2 lamps for our master bedroom. For our living and dining, we had 4 lamps, and our common hall, we had 3 lamps. Our common hall, we had 3 lamps. All right. Any questions so far? No questions. Any contributions? Okay, let's move on. Okay, so the question. So we are done with the zonal cavity. The question. Let's move on with the question. So A says that given 40 watts bare fluorescent fittings showing their circuits and switching arrangement, twin fittings may be usually appropriate. We should use the recommended wattage to find the number in the other parts of the rooms. So now we're done with zonal. So we come to recommended wattage method. Recommended wattage method. So this method, you can easily use a table. Yes, use a table. Okay, so let's see. So the remaining rooms we have a bedroom, we have kitchen, we have store, we have passage, we have bathroom. Right, sure. So here we are supposed to use the recommended wattage method. Okay, yes. So this is the location in house. Now let's go to the table. The recommended wattage method table is given by table. Recommended wattage is given by this table. Table 6. Okay. So please refer to the table and check that the values I'm writing are correct. So these are the power ratings for incandescent. So let me see. So rating for incandescent. Rating for incandescent given in the table. So check whether the values I'm writing are correct. So bedroom given as 150, kitchen as 200, store as 100, passage as 300, bathroom as 60. So this is a rating for incandescent. Now you find rating for fluorescent. Rating for fluorescent, you divide incandescent, which is you can do into bracket incandescent divided by 2 here. So divide incandescent values by 2. So you have 75, 100, 50, 150, and 30. Okay. Yes, let me clean this. Then over here, I'll have the number of 40 watts lamps. So the number of 40 watt lamps, I'll divide this by 40. Okay, so I'll do 75 over 40. 75 over 40. Okay, we'll give you 1.875. Right, so you get 1.875. Then you approximate it to 2 lamps. Then so here you can leave a big space, so you can also give reason under them. So here you need high illumination in the bedroom, so you use 2 lamps. Then here you do 100 over 40. That'll give you 2.5. So you can say, okay, you use 2. You can approximate to 2 or 3. Okay, yes. Yes, me, I'll say you can use this. Me, I'll say I'll use 2 because the kitchen doesn't really need any high illumination. That's what I'll say. Yes, you can choose 3. So here I'll say to save cost and because the kitchen doesn't need high illumination, I'll choose 2. You can choose 3 if you want and give you a reason. Store, you do 50 over 40. That'll give you 1.25. Approximately 1. No high illumination in the store. Passage is 150 over 40. That'll give you 3.75. I approximate it to 4 for any obvious reason that I want. Then bedroom, I'll do 30 over 40. That'll give me 1 point. That'll give me 0.75. Approximately 1. Approximately 1. I can't use 0 because I will need a light in the bathroom. Otherwise, I will fall down and hit my head against the sink and I may die. So I'll use 1 lamp in the bathroom. Alright. So you can do this, giving reasons why you're using each of the lamps. Give reason, give reason, give reason, to show that you know what you're doing. Yes. Nigerian. Yes. So we've answered a B. So we've used the recommended wattage to find the number of lamps in the remaining rooms left. We've done that. Now, the B says that the required number of 80 watt ceiling fans in living, dining room, bedroom, and common hall. So we're supposed to find number of fans. So next thing is number of fans in A, living and dining. Now, the number of fans is given by a certain formula here. Number of fans, NF, is given by A over 3.67 squared, basically. So all you need is the area. So the area of the living and dining is 5.5 times 7.32 all over 3.67 squared. So that would give you 2.989, and I'll say 3 fans. Now the next is the master bedroom. Same equation. NF is area. Area of master bedroom is 3.66 by 5.18 all over 3.67 squared. That will give me 1.4. So yes, so I can say approximately I'll use 1 because if you read the question further, there will be an AC in the master bedroom. So using 1, yes, to save costs. To save costs. All right. Then the C says that the C is for the common hall, right? The common hall. So same number of fans is common hall has area 3.36 by 7.32 all over 3.67 squared. So that will give us 3.95. And I'll say, okay, I need 4 lamps in my common hall. Based on the size of the common hall, I'll need 4 fans. Please, sorry, mistake. Yes, I didn't do my calculation well. Come on. So I'm supposed to get 1.989. So I use 2 fans. So we are done. Now we found the number of fans too. So we are done with the B part of the question. Okay. Now the next part of the question states that we are supposed to find the number of 13 amps flash socket outlets at appropriate places showing their circuit arrangement. So there's a table for the socket outlet. Table number table 2. Table 2 has the number of socket outlets we need. Okay, so we'll just check. So for that one, they will just use the table here. So living and dining, we know that we need 2 sockets there. Master bedroom needs 3. We also have a store where we need 1. Yes. Kitchen, we need 3. Okay, so the living and dining, I think we should use the 4 because of the size, right? So yes, so this is dining room, but then we are using living and dining. So right, let me use the 4. So we use 4 size. The passageway we use 4. Kitchen 3. Yes. So we'll do all that, right? Okay. So common hall. Common hall will have 4 too. Living and dining will have 4. Passage will have 4. Bedroom, single bedroom will have 2. Right? Master bedroom will have 3. So it's a single bedroom. So if you check, we have a normal bedroom, that's single bedroom, that will have 2. Then our master bedroom will have 3. So you just make a table and refer here. So you can just redraw the table, okay? So we've done that one because you since you're answering the questions, when you get here, you just draw the table and go and copy the values from that table and come and fill it there. Then they said we should put 120 amps air conditioner in each of the master bedrooms. Show their circuits. We should put 8 40-watt lamps outside. Okay, so you're supposed to put 8 40-watt lamps outside. Then we are supposed to find the number of distribution boards. So right now we have calculated the number of lamps in each of the rooms. We have calculated the number of fans in each of the rooms. We know the socket outlets. We've been told the number of ACs to use, the number of cookers to use. So now the next thing is to find our distribution boards, so that the number of our distribution boards, so that we'll know which circuits to run home to which distribution board. Please, this section, kindly pay attention. Let me take a break for questions. So if you have any questions so far, kindly ask. If you have any questions so far, kindly ask. If you understand too, let me know so that I'll go ahead. Perry, if you understand, let me know so that you go ahead. Rina, are you around? I can see Abrefa watching. I can see Emmanuel, the Champon. Pepper, I see you. There's Kaid. There's Perry. Cloud High, Jesse Jones. I see all of you. Thank you all for watching and thank you for your contributions too. Okay, please. So the fans, see the fans we are supposed to do for living and dining room, the bedroom. So it means the normal bedrooms are part. Okay. Thank you, Rina. Please, Rina. Rina, thank you very much for your contribution. So for the number of fans, we also find number of fans for the normal bedrooms. So with that one, then we'll do number of fans to be the size of the size of the bedroom is 5 is 3.66 by 3.66. So I'll do 3.66 by 3.66 over 3.7 3.67 squared. That will give us 0.99. That's approximately one fan. That's approximately one fan. Yeah. Okay, please. I'm still waiting for questions. So if you have any questions at all, kindly bring them. Okay, let's move on, please. I hope you can hear me. I hope you can hear me. Let's move on. So, as I said, we are going to find the number of distribution boards that we will need. Okay, we are back. We are back on. So now we know that. Please kindly pay attention, okay? And here's how I go about mine. We know that for the lamps, okay, the maximum number of lamps that we can run home is 13 lamps. The minimum number of 40-watt lamps that we can run home is 13 watts. Right? Please follow. Now, so I want to run 13 lamps. Okay, I want to make sure that all of my run homes are 13. So I'll run 13 lamps home. Now, you must also note that two one fan one fan is equivalent to having two lamps. This is just because our fans are rated 80 watts, right? And our lamps are rated 40 watts. So as a fan corresponds to two lamps. Okay, yes, which means that I can run my fans and lamps together because of the way their ratings are a multiple of each other. So number of circuits from fans and lamps from, let me say, fans and lamps here. So over here, what do? I must find the total number of 40 watts. Okay, total number of 40 watts present divided by 13, because I want to form 13 circuits, so that I'll know my number of circuits. I want to connect 13 elements to one circuit. Okay, so I want to find total number of 40 watts present divided by 13 40 watts connected. Am I making sense? Consider that I want to connect like 30, 40 watt, 40 watt, 40 watt, 40 watt, 40 watt, 13 of them in one circuit. Right? So how do I find the total number of 40 watts present? I have to sum the total number of lamps, and the fans together. All of them, everything in the room, in the building. Sorry. So let's start. We'll make headway as we move on. So we know that we had 2 lamps in the master bedroom, right? We had 2 lamps in the master bedroom, and there are 3 master bedrooms. So I can have 2 times 3 lamps for the master bedroom. Now for the living and dining room, I got 4 lamps, and there are 3 living and dining rooms. So I get 4 times 3 plus common hall. I got 3 lamps. There's 1 common hall. 3 times 1 plus, now we go to the recommended wattage. Bedroom, I got 2. There are 3 bedrooms, so that's 2 times 3. Kitchen, I got 2, and there are 3 kitchens, so 3 kitchens. Store, I had 1. There are 3 stores. Passage, I had 4. There's just 1 passage. One parameter that I've not mentioned yet is that they went ahead. If you read the step F, we are supposed to provide 8 40-watt lamps outside. Okay, so it means that there are 8 40-watt lamps outside. That should come to. Okay, now we have a total number of lamps. Let's move on to the fans. Let us move on to the fans. Now with the fans, we know that we said we had what? We had this store. So now with the fans, right now I'm forming total number of 40 watts present. Let's know each fan is 80 watts, right? So in the living and dining, if I have 3 lamps, it means that if I have 3 fans in the living and dining rooms, then it means I have 3 of 240 watts, right? Because each fan is 80 watts. So 3 80-watt fans is the same as having 6 40-watt lamps. And then I multiply by the total number of living and dining we have. We have 3 living and dining, so times 3 again. Then now plus master bedroom, I use 1 fan, right? So I'm having 180 watts times 2. Then times number of master bedrooms we have 3 master bedrooms. Then now plus common hall, I have 2 times 2 to divide it into 40 watts. Then now times number of common halls 1. Then plus finally regular bedrooms. Regular bedroom, so that's 1 times 2, and there are 3 regular bedrooms. So this is a total number of 40 watt present. So I'll sum all these and divide by 13. and that'll give me the number of circuits that I can form from the fans and the lamps. So when you do this, and divide, you get 6.39, which you can approximate as so you get 3 point. Yeah. So you get 82. So this will be equal to 82. Okay, so you get 82 over 13. This cross check. Okay, now I'll give you 6.301. So our approximate is at 7 circuits. What this means? What this means is that if I form 13, no, if I form 7 circuits, each containing 13 elements, 1340 watts, right? 1340 watts. I can form 6, so I can form 6 13s. Then there will be one that will be up to 13, but then it shouldn't exceed 13. If it's less than 13, it's allowed. Okay, so that's the implication of the answer we are getting. So this is what we get. So I can form 7 13 40 watts circuits. Yes, I can form 7 13 40 watt circuits. I hope you've gotten it. If not, please rewatch this side of the video after the session. I'm sure you get it. It's nothing complex. Okay. Yes. So this is the number of circuits. So now we can move ahead. We can go ahead and find as I said right now, everything we are doing here, we are trying to find the number of distribution boards we require, right? So we have to find the total number of currents flowing in each of the circuits. Okay, I have to find the total number of current that will flow through the lamps and fan circuits, the socket circuits, the AC circuits, the cooker circuits. So let's do that. So let's say devices are here. So I have lamp and fan, lamps and fans. No, it's not nice. So I have lamps and fans. Now, lamps and fans, here I have number of circuits. Number of circuits. Here I have fuse rating. So this is a table you require to draw to find the total number of current. Okay. Using the diversity factor table. So another part to really pay attention. Another part to really pay attention and follow. So for the lamps and fans, lamps and fans, we said that we had 7 circuits. So let's go to the table. Let's check the table for the fuse ratings. Okay, so standard fuse ratings for lamps, for lightning circuits, lamps and fans, we use 5 amps. So 5 amps, 5 amps here. Now for the socket outlet, please refer to your drawing. If you have your drawing beside you, look at it. Let me make a statement. Okay, now for the sockets outlet, we connect all sockets in an area less than or equal to 100 meters squared together. I repeat, we connect all sockets in an area less than or equal to 100 meters squared together. Okay. I'm coming, please. Sure. Okay, let's move on. So sockets, as I was saying, we connect all sockets in an area less than or equal to 100 meters squared together. Okay, we ring them together and run them home together. So if you check the dimensions we have very well, you can divide this into 4 quadrants. 4 quadrants of areas less than 100 meters squared. So you can see that if you check the master bedroom and living and dining room, that area, if you multiply the area, you get an area less than 100 meters squared, right? So I can have 4 quadrants, which means I can form 4 circuits. Here, and the fuse rating used for sockets is 30 ohms. So we use 30 ohms for sockets. We use 30 ohms for the sockets. Okay, now next thing is we're asked to put in ACs. So for AC, the AC, we're supposed to use 3 ACs, right? Each AC has its own circuits. So each AC is run home differently. Okay, so I'm having 3 AC circuits, and the fuse rating for ACs. Yes, the AC we're supposed to use 120 amp AC. So that's 20 amp. 20 amps. 20 amps AC. The last thing is the cookers. Same, we're supposed to use 3 cookers. 3 cookers, right? And the rating of the cookers is also 30 amps. The rating of the cookers is also 30 amps. So 30 amps here, right? Now we are supposed to find the current flowing through the lamps. This is where we will use the diversity factor table. This is where we will use the diversity factor table. So let's see. So go to table number, I'm now scrolling down. 8, table 8. So this is how you use the diversity factor table. And there's a question in the objects that even requires us to use the diversity factor table. So you can understand it here. Any questions so far? The current to find the current, then we'll have to be more than the dB rate. It's not the dB rate. Okay. All of them being on at the same time. So let's move on. So for the lighting, no initial allowance. So no initial allowance and 75% of the total current. The total current is given by number of circuit times fuse rating. So here 7 times 5. Then they say 75% of the total current. So that gives us the current that will go here. That's given by 26.25. Now for socket, let's find it. For socket, let's go to the socket. Is that for sockets? For sockets, Yes, for so you're supposed to use full load of the largest circuit. Full load of the largest circuit, then plus 50% of remainder. This is what it means. We have 430 amps, right? So one of them will be used on full load. 130 amps will be on full load. Then the remaining three, that's 3 times the total, will be operated at 50%. You get it? So this how this will give you 75. So full load of the initial, then 50% of the remainder. So you have it. For the AC, this table doesn't have AC in it. This table doesn't have AC, but I think AC in class we have to use the same as the socket or the motor. So that's full load and 50%. So here to same. Here to do full load plus 50% of remainder. So here there are 3. So if you take one, we'll be left with 2 times 20 times 0.5 of remainder. So if you do this correctly, you get 40. You get 40. Now for the cooker, let's see cooker. Cooker is same, full load for largest, 50% for remainder. So here, full load for largest, it will be left with 2, 50%, and that will give us 60. That will give us 60. That will give us 60. That is going to give us 60. So we have this. So 60, 40, 75, 26.5. Now what are we doing? What are we doing? I never knew this thing. I don't know about I. So now what are we doing? Why are we doing this? We are finding the total current. The total current in the building. We are finding the total current in the building. So that what? So that okay, wait, before that, let me hint that we must state the rating of the dBs we are using. So you state that we are using, I think we have 100 amps, 150, 120, but then the one we're using class was 100. So you just state that we are using 100 amps dB. We are using 100 amp dBs. Okay, so we find the total number of current that comes to the building and divide by 100 so that we will get the total number of dBs to use. So let's see. Right, so I'll leave this side. Okay. So now number of dBs to be used. Number of dBs to be used. Okay. Hey. Juliet is saying that AC is full load the first and second largest. Wow. That sounds new to me. Please, anyone to confirm that? Anyone to confirm that, and then we'll move on. Okay. Let's move on. So number of dBs to be used is given by number of dBs to be used is given by the total current we got. So let's sum this together. 26.25 plus 75 plus 40 plus 60 all over 100. And this should give us Okay, so we'll get 201.5 over 100. That will give us 2.015. Now we are having 2.015, right? Now to allow for future expansion and accumulation of load in the building, we will say that we'll use 3 dBs. So we'll use 3 dBs to allow for future expansion. Okay, so we will use 3 dBs. Let's move on, please. Okay, so they give us the let me check something. Sorry. Let me check something. I want to be sure of something before I move on. Okay. Okay. So we are using 100 dBs of each of 240 volts. It's a single phase, so that makes sense. It's practical. It's a very practical question. So we are using 3 dBs. Now, how will we share this load among 3 dBs? Now here you do something called load balancing. You do something called load balancing. So, so let me clean this side. So we're using 3 dBs. I write it down. So this is how we do the load balancing. So we're using 3 dBs, fine. So dBA, dBB, and dBc. I'm having my lighting system here. I'm having my socket here. I have my AC here. I have my cooker here. Now this load balancing you can do anyhow you want, okay? But some always be easier than some. Like in this case like this. This case like this. If you must balance the load, right? You must make sure that the current on each of the dB is around the same, like around the same. So here you can see that if I add this 26.25 here, if I add this 26.25 to 40, I'll get what? I'll get 66.25. So I'll have something like 66.25, 60, 75. And practically these are around the same values. Don't they are like around the same values. So I can do this. So it means that to dBA I can connect the 26.25 and the AC, right, which is 20 here, 40, thank you very much, 40 here. Then to dBB I can connect all the sockets to dBB. So the socket is for 75. Then I can connect the cooker to dBc. So here I can see that my dBA will get 66.25, my dBB will get 75 amps. Okay, we are talking about current. And dBc will get 60 ohms. dBc will get 60 ohms. Please, anyone to confirm what was said in class or what we should use for the AC will be very helpful for all of us right now. So yeah, so this is a load balancing. As I said, you can balance it anyhow. You can balance it anyhow you want, but I think this is a very easy way to balance it, seeing that they will need to be around the same. Please, any contributions, any contributions so far? Perry, okay, Perry, your question was answered. Thank you very much. I like how wow, I like how we are all contributing. This semester has brought the best out of electrical 3, I should say. Other classes should have to emulate from us. No, what do you mean by that? Please hold on. I'm clarifying something, so kindly hold on for me. Kindly hold on for me. I'm clarifying something. All right, let's move on. We are back. Let's move on. Yes. So we got DBA. We said our DBA can take 66.25. Our B can take what? We gave our B what? 75 amps and shell. And we gave our C 60 amp, right? So now we must also find a number of ways, like the number of ways of our DBs. We must also find the number of ways of our DBs. Okay. So now we connected what we connected. Sorry, we connected the lamps, right? Don't forget that our lamps have how many circuits? We have 7 circuits for our lamps. Then we also connected the AC, right? AC has 3. This lamps, this AC. So our lamp has 7 circuits. Our AC has 3 circuits. Our AC has 3 circuits. So in all for DBA, we're talking about 10 circuits going to DBA, right? So I can say I can use a 12-way DB as DBA. Then I'll say yes, I'm using 12 to allow for future expansion. Just give a reason why I'm using 12 and not 10 itself. Then here to the 75 is the 75 came from me connecting 4 sockets. So I'm connecting 4 sockets to this. Here's where I can say, okay, I can use a 6-way DB. Same reason, I can use a 4-way DB. You just have to state the reason why you're doing that. Then to the C is the hooker, right? The hooker. So that's 3. We have 3 hooker circuits. So I can use a 4-way DB for this. So I can use a 12-way 100 amps 240 volts DB for as DBA. And I use a 6-way 100 amps 240 volts. Now I use a 4-way 100 amps 240 volts. You see these are design choices. So once you can justify, because if you check this part of the question, see the part of the question, it says that what? It says that legend of the symbols you use, provide legend of the symbols you use, justify assumptions that may be necessary. So if you say something and you say, okay, this is why I'm doing it, and it makes sense, he will mark it for you. Yes. So right now we've done a number of distribution boards which we know. So we know the number of distribution boards. We can do the joinings. So now let's go to the drawing. Let's just talk about the drawing. The drawing, we'll talk about it. If you have it there, you try it. Send it to the class group. We'll all see it. If you want us to see it and make corrections to it. Okay. So some rules that you follow in the drawing. Some rules you follow in the drawing. You know that yes, use this for your lamps, right? Yes. So master bedroom has 2 lamps. You just do this. You know that the lamp are connected to switches, and then you know that don't connect more than 8 lamps to one switch. So don't, this is a don't, star 8 lamps to one switch. If you even check the way this drawing is, you will never have to do that. You just have to connect 2 4, 2 4. So here, so this is how you join it. You can do something like this: short dashes, yes. So this is how you do the lamps. Okay. 2, this is what you use to represent your fans. Your fans must all be of approximately equal size. This is your fans. Approximately, don't draw one like this. I think it's something that really annoys the man. If you draw one like this and draw one like this, something that really annoys him. I know why, but it's part of his problems. So please, let's make sure that yes. Dr. E.K. Ado, a very good lecturer. So please make sure that you don't get on his nerves, okay? Yes. Let's move on, please. Now, each fan must have its own regulator. So this is how you do the regulator, like this. And note that as much as possible, the switches shouldn't be behind the doors when you're opening them, right? So if I have something like this, let me draw something like this. If I have something like this, as a door for maybe in my bedroom, I have something like this. Your switch should be here. Your switch shouldn't be here. This is wrong. Your switch should be here. Now each fan must have a regulator. Okay, so now the same way, you just join it with the short dashes like this. Short dashes like this. So one fan to one switch, one fan to one regulator, one fan to one regulator. All right. Another thing that you must also note. So you can don't forget that we say we are running 13 elements for the fans and lights, right? So if I have, let's say I have a number of fans, let's say I have all these in one room like this. Okay, if I have all this and I want to join them and run them home, I can do something like this. Long, something like this. And then I'll run this home. If you are running home lamps and fans, you put 2 lines. You put two like this. I didn't join them together. Like I joined them together because I'm running them home. So something like if I'm counting, I'll count it as how many elements I've counted. This is 1. So this is 1, 2, 1, 2. This is 240 watts, 240 watts, and 240 watts. So here I've joined 640 watts and I'm running home. Okay, but I want to join 1340 watts and run home. So from the calculation I did upwards. So you just do that. And run home. Okay. Another thing you must also note is that as I said, in our drawing we have 4 quadrants. So in each of the quadrants, you join each of the sockets. So let's say I have a room like this. Right? With some sockets here, some socket like this. I have another adjacent room like this. These rooms are in less than 100 meter square radius. So you join them like this. You join them in a ring. So ring is long dot like this. Right, like this, like this, like this, like this. Then you run home. Yes, I missed one. Thank you very much. Consultants. So I missed one. So let's move on, please. So you come and pass here. See, you are just drawing them. So anyhow, just make sure your drawing is nice. Just make sure it's a closed loop and it's nice. Yeah. So after this, you can now run this home. You just do it a short. Then I said I'm running my sockets to DBB, so I can just do this. Socket is 3 lines. So you put your socket is 3 lines. Put your 3 lines on it, and then this is going to. So this can be this. From what I did, I was running my socket to DBB, so I can call this, let's say, B1. Call this B1. So this is how you do for the socket. Okay. Now your ACs are represented like this, and then grounded. So each of them, AC is just one. Then run home. So you run AC, then you run home. So I was joining my ACs to DBA. So this can be my, let's say, my A2 or A1. If it is my A1, this can be my A2. Same for cookers, but then this for cookers. Then you ground it. Then cookers, you run them home singly. Three lines. 3 lines are for the live, neutral, and earth. Okay, but the lamps, we just need a live and neutral. You sure? Yes. Then basically these are the rules that you employ. You employ when you are drawing. Please, any other contributions? Pepra, Perry, any other Rina, any other thing that I've not said that you'd like for me to add to the tips for the drawings. Let's not forget that we're supposed to put 8 lamps outside the entire building. That's one bit that it came down there. Let's not forget this thing. The diagram for the DB. Yes, one last thing, the diagram for the DB. Thank you very much. Consultant. Okay. So DB has a very simple diagram. Let's move on, please. So a DB is represented as this. Yes, this is your DB. So yes, and for this element, for this AC cooker DB, just put them near wall. So yes, like just make sure it's near a wall. I can write DB. So this can be, can write DBA inside, then DBB, DBC. Yes. So that's it. Please, any other recommendations, any other contributions to the tips you're enjoying? Because as far as me and my consultants and my team are concerned, this is what we remember. So anyone has anything to add? So no contribution so far. Okay. Bathroom. You only want to see. Okay, if someone is, let me check something. For the bathroom, the recommended wattage. For the bathroom, the recommended wattage is is 60 watts, not 100. Okay, so please kindly check it well. Eddie, please kindly check it well. It's 60. Okay. One last thing is we are supposed to add a legend. So let me see. So a legend is just a table of your symbol and what it means. Yes. So that was to say, yes, H is provide a legend. So if you check, as we're doing this IJ, we're providing simple instructions. We're also writing our assumptions. So we've done this already. So we have to provide a legend. So a legend is just a table. So in a legend, you can just say that, okay, maybe you use this for your one gang switch, right? Yeah, then you can say, okay, you use this for your regulator, this for your lamp. It's like every symbol you use. So the legend is to take time because we are using so many symbols. AC, your cooker, your DB is here. What? Your sockets. Yes, basically. Then the DBS. So that should be about it. Yes. So yeah, so just draw a very nice simple table and then you just tell us what each of your the symbols you use mean. So please be very familiar with the names very well too, okay? Okay. Yeah, so any more contributions? Any more any more contributions? Perry Ajiman. Any contribution from you? You've been with us through the beginning. Any closing remarks? Pepper, any closing remarks? Okay. Yeah, so if you have, okay, Caleb Nimako, thank you very much. If you have more than 8 lamps in one room, you just use two. Use two switches, okay? Use two switches. Divide them, yes, divide them among the two. Maybe assume you have, let's say you have 9 lamps. You have 9 lamps, right? So you can use 4 to 1 switch, 5 to 1 switch. Right. Sure. Thank you very much. Okay. So if there's no question, then all the best in tomorrow's paper.
You didn't say that.
Yes, please, section A. I don't pay online. Section A, we solve most of the questions during the midterm. Yes, so most likely we should expect similar questions. So just go through those questions. Yes. Just go through those questions. And go through the ones that are in the past questions we are solving to. Look at them carefully. Okay, so all the best in tomorrow's paper. Have a wonderful evening and God be with you. Remember to pray. Pray and have a quiet time in the morning and have a wonderful day. Yes, we'll see you tomorrow for microprocesses. God bless you, Pepratu. Our president is doing a very good job at keeping this drive going, and we are grateful to everyone. Okay, so thank you. Bye.